Right, this shows us up. Hello all. This is a lovely day, back end of August. We're cutting 45 acres of spring wheat at Upper Cauldicote. My wife's doing the filming for me. I'm driving the combine. The yields were not brilliant on this crop. It was a spring barley on sharp, spring wheat on sharp ground, so it wasn't a massive crop. That hot weather we had sort of made more or less killed it dead on its feet. But we're still a reasonable bit of barley. Bushel weight was a bit down. We've just sent it off. It's the middle of, well, it's the end of September now, and it's just gone off on lorries, and the bushel weight was low. So we did get knocked on the bushel weight, but there you go. That swings and roundabouts. It was a gorgeous day anyway. So I thought I'd do some narration over this one, but it's my first attempt, so you'll have to bear with me. But we're cutting a reasonable pace because obviously there isn't too much crop there. How I set my loss monitors up, I set them to medium sensitivity, then I go till I go quick until I start getting some loss, then I back off until my loss monitors drop off. Well, till they're hardly moving. So then I get out, go around the back and have a scratch around like an old chicken in the straw and see what's on the floor. But she normally runs very nicely by using her loss monitors. We don't normally have a lot of issues with that. She's a big machine, you know. In her heyday, back in 1998, she was the Rolls Royce of combines, and they always were known for being a quick machine. I've been up there since, like we cut this back in August, it's now the end of September. I've been up there since, and there's very little second growth on it. She combined it very well. But we had a lovely day that day, and the wife very kindly came up, did a bit of filming for us. So I said to her, well, we'll narrate over this one. We're down the far end where I am at the moment, the old rabbits. That's the A1 down there, the Alpha 1 as the old truckies call it. And the rabbits are underneath the sodding A1, and I've had some lads in to do some ferreting. But why say we're doing that ferreting? Yeah, they knocked all the bloody rabbit fencing down, so we have put it back up, but they more or less ran it into the ground. There you go. That's what happens when you let people on your ground. And to add old insult to injury, the rabbits are still bloody there, and he ain't been back to have them again. I think a bit difficult to get at because there's an old blackthorn edge down there, and they're all in the roots of the blackthorn edge. We have tried to gas them, but there's so many holes there, you just can't do it properly. So, yeah, so we've got a little bit of loss down there to the old bunny rabbits. But that's the A1 at Cauldicote between Biggleswade and Sandy that you can see running backwards and forwards there. It's the main trunk road for people over in America. That's the main road from London to York, or it used to be, and they put the M1 in, but a lot of the old truckers still use it. It's a good road certain times of the day. Either side of the rush hours, it's a good, useful road. It gets a little bit tight up towards top of Peterborough there, and going up there it gets a little bit tight, and you have to keep your wits about you up there. There's not a lot of room up there to run, and you soon run out of room on that road. The sails are all preset, the computer does all that. The faster you go, the faster the sails go. You set them up to begin with, but if you put more speed on, the combine sorts it out itself and speeds the sails up and slows them down. I'm not I'm just finishing this bit off. There's 22 acres there. I've got this is the main run in the field. There's a little bit goes off to one side, which we'll be doing in a moment. I must admit we've had a real shit harvest. I've been waiting for it to stop raining. Now here we are, the end of September, and we're still waiting for it to stop raining. Well, we're not waiting for it, but I'd love it to stop for a little bit. We've had, like people said, oh, we've had a dry spell. Yeah, 3 or 4 bleeding days. It was just getting nice, and it started to rain again. Last week, we did some baling last week, and we actually finished off the last of the straw that's on other people's ground, and we fetched that all in. That's all in the stack. All we got to do now is bring in our big ricks, which are sitting out in the field. But it's too wet to get anywhere near them. We've got one in the corner. I've got about 400 tonne in the corner of the sodding field. I don't know how I'm going to get it out, to be honest with you. The farmer's not going to be happy about me, and if I attempt to do it before the frost comes in or something, or we get some serious dry weather, I'm going to make a hell of a mess on that road, and I'm going to get myself into trouble. So at the minute, I'm just biding my time and hoping it will dry out. That's it. That's the beauty of being a farmer in this day and age. It's just one of them years. We've been owed it for some time, to be honest with you, in my view. We've had a few good dry years, but I must admit I haven't combined anything above 15%. I've managed to keep it below 15%. Must admit I finished the beans off though about 20%, and there was just one trailer load, and we put some sucker blowers in there and sort of dried them out and kept them in the trailer and dried them in the trailer. I'm now turning on the top headland here. We're going to obviously I've got to cut 2 half widths here, so I am going quick because I'm cutting half a width. But the thing about these lexions, they do like to keep their bellies full, and if their bellies are not full and they'll thrash out, but they will chuck it over the back if they haven't got a full belly. I'll just rattle it over the school walkers. So you've got to keep them full up. That isn't possible doing a half width. It will alter itself to a degree. If it's loaded one heavy one side, it will hold itself to a degree, but not that well, to be honest with you. It's got I think it's 3D sieves on there. The new ones have got 4D. If you're on a slope, they will tip one side to the other side to keep them to a certain degree. To keep them flat so that you don't have too much grain going down one side of the sieve. You see, I've just turned around now. I'm just taking a small strip up there to finish that part of the field off. I've got, obviously, the lights are running now. They're on sensors in the corn tanks. And when we get 75% full, the lights start flashing on top to pull the trailers in, like to unload us. But we're actually static tipping here because I haven't got no tractors to pull the trailers with because they're all baling and bale chasing. So it's me and a couple of trailers, I'm afraid. But as I said, there isn't too much tonnage here, so it don't matter too much. Don't she look lovely coming up there? Right? It's a shame she ain't got a full mouth, but to be honest with you, there's a little bit of green you can see in the stubble there, but these particular fields, we have been hammering them for black grass. We've had a few patches come up, so we worked hard to get them down. We put spring wheat in so we could work with that, and it has worked very well. Very well. We managed to get on top of the black grass in these fields. We've only got 2 other suspect fields up at Sutton, but we've got on top of that as well, to be honest, because we spring barleyed then. But I don't think this is Bella peak this week, and I don't think I'd grow it again. The year's been dead against it anyway, with the dry weather and everything, and this sharp ground. But I ain't overly impressed with the weight of it here. We did have some ground up the road with the same variety on it, and it did better. It did just over 2 tonnes to the acre, 2 and a bit tonnes to the acre. I think this will be going into a spring crop, so we can rest it a little bit and work with it again over the winter. We are going to dry some peas this year up at Sutton. We're going to put 60 acres of peas at Sutton this coming year. So there you go. We only got this crop in, and we're thinking about the next one. I must admit, I don't do my cropping on a yearly basis. Well, I do it on a yearly basis, but I haven't got like a 5-year plan or anything. I must admit, I do swap and change if I need to. But we are going to grow 300 acres of winter wheat this winter. We've got that in Lily and another one. The seed for that's being delivered on Monday from Frontiers. They've done us very well. They've been very good with us. Yeah, very good company. They're a nice big company. You worry you're working with these other smaller companies because, you know, one just went down and got just a lot of people, a lot of money. I think they're going to be waiting a long while. I should imagine we've got about 5.5 tonne in this tank. She wasn't full capacity, but she holds about 6.5 tonne. Yeah, when you're getting that much in there, you've got to be a bit careful because it does tend to come over the top of it, over the front, and go down between the cab and the glass windows between you and the full tank. You're landing being able to see in the full tank. Yeah, like you can see, it's one of the better days this summer. It's absolutely a classic day. And when we got these days in the summer, we had to really work our soft top to make the best of them. It was over 2 far and 2 few between. So the old combine's finished for the year now. After she finished this bit, she's got about 4 acres behind her to do, and about 5 acres outside the track for her to do. And then we had 70 acres of beans to do, which it took us 3 attempts to do because the weather kept stopping us. And it was actually raining when I cut the last week's lots of the beans. And they were sitting in my grain tank, and when we put them in a trailer, they were quite wet. So I must admit we did leave them in the trailer and put sucker blowers in there to grind down until we put all the other beans. But the first ones that came off, the first sort of 40 odd tonne of beans were around about 11% mark, so that was perfect. We gave them a bit of a sucker blower job, and then we the others and mixed them up. It all went out around 4.5%, so that was perfectly alright. Well, they're gone already. Spring wheat's gone, winter wheat's gone. We're just left with the spring barley now. We've got about 240 pounds of spring barley, which they're picking up next week, and it's going down to Tilbury to go on a boat to go abroad. As you can see, when I'm empty now, just backing away. The old combine's got a few squeaks and a few yawns. It's end of season, you know. He's pretty tired. I am hoping to replace it. I'm not holding my breath at the minute. It's such an expensive thing to replace. That is a damn good combine. It makes you worry to let a good combine go because we can't afford a new one, so we'd have a good second-hand one. So you do worry that you ain't going to buy a load of trouble. I have been told a 570 or 580 are a pretty good model, so we'll be looking in that direction. We've took stock of the baling this year, and we have decided, and the wife agrees with me, we do need a second Heston baler, so we are going to get a massive for next year. Not a new one, a second-hand one. The Steve's done wonders with our BB 950 New Holland. I sold a load of hay the other day, and he got 480 kilograms in a 70 deep New Holland BB 950 bale, which is the old quadrant size bale, and he got 480 kilograms. The lorry had over 28 tonne, an Arctic. Yeah, an Arctic had over 28 tonne of hay on it. It was hay, but he's done the same with a straw. The straw is really well packed up. My barn, you know, I thought it was only 3/4 full, but I actually think it's quite full because of the weight that's in there. The weight in the bale, Steve's in absolute condition with the baler, so I'm going to get him an old, well, no, not an old one, something about 7 or 8 years old, I'm going to give it to Steve. He actually works wonders with it. He done a lot of work on my New Holland. I must admit, she was in a bit of a pickle. She'd been bodged up that many times in the past by previous drivers and what have you. There was a lot to be repaired on her, but he's got her ticking like a Swiss watch now. Absolutely lovely job. So that's what we're aiming to do. Pick something up about 25,000 and then put it through the workshop. So we run 2 balers. If we, if it's a good year, we'll up productivity. We'll have more straw. But if it's a poor year, you've got 2 balers in one. You can please 2 customers at once instead of just one. You'll keep the old bale chaser boys busy. We'll see. Jack turned out to be a cracking little bale chaser, man. Jack's working out good. He's done a few mirrors just lately, but I was expecting him to bring something back in a box, the bits. But he kept everything in one bit, so that was a plus, considering there wasn't a lot of money in the job. But no, I must admit we've got through the year. Now we're busy doing land work, tillage work, right? We've got over 200 acres of the flowering done. We still haven't used the cinder yet, but that won't be long now before that's put in the dirt. And when we do, I'll see if we get some footage of that. No way are we getting rid of the flowers. There's something about farming you need to remember. There are good bits and there are good bad bits about the past, and there's good bits and bad bits about the present. So I tend to pick and use the best bits as I consider to my best advantage, and don't be under any illusion that you're ever going to get rid of the flowers, because you never will. It's been here since Iron Age times, and it will be here long before. I'll be dusting my boxes before that weather disappears. But no, we're nearly at the end here, so I hope this narration is up to your standard, and if it isn't, there is always an on-off switch if you don't like it.